This video is going to show you your weekly solo Grandmaster Nightfall with a melee based build on Warlock that 99% of you aren't aware regarding this interaction I'm going to show you with this build. Let's get the basics out of the way first. It's Battleground Maz. The surges are Arc Surge. There's only one surge this week. I noticed that right away. I was like, why is there only one surge? Arc Surge it is, I guess. Solar Threat. Champions are barrier and unstoppable. This is Battleground Maz. So there's going to be melee changes, melee build changes in Edge of Fate. So I figured I would do a melee based build on a solo GM and have it really unique and with a new shotgun that released recently. So the build is revolving around a sudden death. The reason why a sudden death is so good is because it rolls with 2 damage buff traits. If there's a gun in PVE that ever releases, no matter what weapon it is, and it has double damage traits, it automatically makes it S+. This is the unit shotgun. It's the first shotgun of its kind to have 1-2 punch, trench barrel. Let's remind ourselves what trench barrel does. After a successful melee hit, this weapon gains increased damage, handling and reload for a short duration. Or until 3 shots are fired, because it stacks the 3 times. You then need to get the buff again. 1-2 punch. Hitting an enemy with every pellet in a shotgun increases melee damage for a short duration. So there's a nice synergy between melee, shotgun damage, melee, shotgun damage. Well, I have a good build for this. There are many different builds that we could run with this. Let's go through it first. So class item, I'm using Spirit of Inmost Light Synthoceps. Synthoceps for the buff. The melee needs it, the one I'm going to tell you. It really needs it because it's a weak melee. We need to buff it up. Inmost Light is very good for neutral gameplay. But if we wanted to do Double Claw Necrotic or Synthoceps Necrotic, we could. It is up for interpretation, this build, it is. But I definitely think you need Synthoceps on minimum, and then it's either Inmost Light or Necrotic, or you could do Double Claw, I guess. You could do Double Claw, but in hindsight that wouldn't be quite as good because you wouldn't have Synthoceps. You need that damage melee buff. Alright, so here's the build. I'll go through all the build and then I'll talk about the melee at the end of this bit. Song of Flame on, because it's just critical in this one. Phoenix Dive, Storm Grenade. Aspects are Helion, Feed the Void, Devour needs to be going on for this. Fragments are Facet of Ruin for increased ignition and shatter damage. That will buff Song of Flame, and that will buff Freeze and Singularity because it does a stasis effect. Facet of Hope will buff my Phoenix Dive so I get more of them. With Inmost Light you'll get loads of Phoenix Dives, therefore loads of Helions. Facet of Dawn Radiant for a damage buff for your weapons. That's really good. And you get barrier rounds. Facet of Balance, I actually generally like that on prismatic builds. And finally Facet of Dominance because it's going to buff my Storm Grenade for Jolt. And it will buff Freeze and Singularity because it's a damn Void Nade. It will also get a Void Overshield from the artifact, which is very powerful. Alright, now we come on to this. Chain Lightning. An extended range melee that jolts your target and chains lightning to nearby targets. While amplified, it creates an additional set of chains. This melee is the weakest melee of the choice. However, things slightly change when you pop a Transcendence. In other words, what I'm telling you is that there's a secret interaction where you do pop it when you pop a Transcendence. There's no cooldown on Chain Lightning, and you will keep being able to use it over and over and over, and you will not consume Transcendence energy. I repeat, you will not consume Transcendence energy if you use Chain Lightning on Prismatic Warlock like this in this way. That means you can buildcraft around this now. It's probably not intended. I don't know. I hope it kind of is intended because I think this is fair. I think this is good because the Chain Lightning doesn't do as much damage as, let's say, Finger Snap or, Arcane Needle. So I actually like this. I hope Bungie doesn't nerf this. I want it as it is. Because it's only when you're in Transcendence gameplay that you can have an infinite loop of this whilst Transcendence is up, of course. So you can imagine we're going to buff it with Synthos. We're going to buff it with a sudden death, and the chain lightning while in Transcendence will then buff sudden death because of Trench Battle. Do you see the playback loop? Do you see how good it is? Other weapons, I'm using Rev Zero because there's barrier champs. Watchful Eye because it's very handy at the farm boss. It's got Unstop built into it, Power Resolve, and it's got Jolting Feedback, jolts everything. It's just good for critical moments. It's just overall decent. Machine guns always are in Battlegrounds. Here's the mods. There'll be a dim link anyways. But yeah, that was the build. Artifact mods. I'll give you 5 seconds to look at them and then I'm turning the page off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now you'll never see them artifact mods again. Sorry lads. Yeah, I've gone past that now. I'm not explaining artifact mods. It's too much for me. Tonic, refined tonic of void shrapnel. Gain bonus intellect. This works now. Void renewal and old God's right does not. But gain bonus intellect does work right now in the game, PvP and PvE. That's the build. On with the run. Okay, so in this run, let's analyze the playback loop that I'm presenting to you today with this melee interaction when you're Transcendent. Don't skip the Transcendent sections because you'll learn a lot from that. So yeah, if you're here for the melee build, don't be skipping the parts where I am using the melee build to its fullest potential. Alright, capturing the points. Now we can do this the long way or the short way, it's up to you. I mean, my YouTube video is 31 minutes, 25-minute run with a 6-minute build information. I believe that, you know, if I hadn't cheesed it, the video would be 34 minutes. And I just feel as though, you know, it makes no odds. You would have still watched the video whether I'd done the towers legit or not legit. Because of Battleground Mars, I just think you should just do it like this. Because it's kind of unbalanced. You know, this is why people are doing this. This is why people do this. Right, how you do it is, do not kill one single ad. You are free to roam the streets, but you are not allowed to kill one ad at all. Not one. If you kill a fraud, it's trip to orbit. Prep towers. Shoot C first. This will stop taking enemies from spawning in. Then go to A and prep A a little bit. Don't destroy all of A. Just get it to weak. Get the last structure alive on the plate, because that preps you for later on. Then you're going to come here, then you're going to prep a bit more of B, but do not shoot B until. You need to follow this first 4 minutes of this, 3 minutes of this video to a T, and it'll work. If you don't follow it to a T, that's your fault. You haven't followed the steps. So, you with me? 1 minute 50 in so far. We're doing our prep. C has been captured, but I need targeting data full with Rev 0. Well, it's recommended. Alright, now you take down B when the VIP target goes around the wall. Then you do your sniper mode and you're going to wait for this thrall. Now, R and G, you're not always going to get 2 thrall. Basically what's going to happen, this is scripts, this is Nostradamus stuff, this is me predicting it. There will be 2 thrall. You will kill the 2 thrall. You might have to push up for the final thrall. That will cap the plate, then you will go back to the map and then there will be exactly two acolytes that go on the plate. You'll kill them and you'll cap the plate. That's Nostradamus predictions that. Look, watch. There we go. Acolyte A, Acolyte B. Predictions are looking to be turning out true, right? I'm predicting the future. So, when B's capping, do not kill any more ads at all. You will spawn in a barrier and unstoppable. That is the trigger. Do not even touch one single enemy. Only the VIP you are allowed. Don't jolt him. Don't freeze him with any of your stuff. You know, whatever build kits you've got, don't use Helion, nothing. Until B is capped. Once B is capped, you are then free to roam the streets. You are then free to cap A. Look at Transcendence meter. This is all pre-prep, pre-planned. You want to be getting close to that Transcendence. Because we've got a melee base build on, so we're damn going to use it. Alright, so we're going to go to the top of the roof. I'm going to do my alt fire here. Get some sniper shots in. I'm not going to use any abilities just yet because I'm going to I'm going to jolt him with my nade. I'm going to use a Helion. And I'm going to go in with my Transcendence and show you the interaction of Chain Lightning, the melee. Pay attention to the melee cooldown when I'm in my Transcendence melee, and you'll see that I'll immediately get it back. This is unique, only when in Transcendence this works. So watch. Jolt, Helion, Transcendence, Overshield from Artifact. That's because of Dominance, Nade. Right, look at the cooldown. So now what you're going to do is debuff, shotgun melee, shotgun melee, shotgun melee. Look at this. This guy's tanky. It's GM level, this. Right, look at Transcendence meter. Look, I barely used it. Chain Lightning doesn't consume your Transcendence meter like what another melee would. Look, it's not consuming it. Your nade does, but the melee does not. Look at this. Now we can melt the VIP. Look, that's good damage. These VIPs are tanky in Battleground Mars. Look at that. Transcendence ends. I'm finished. And I've got Trench Battle ×3. Or I did. So yeah, there you go. There's the interaction. Now, we have a super. This is all pre-planned, all orchestrated. Jolt first. Super. Stun. With a Helion and basically the finger snap. Look at the damage. Look, we're getting Trench Barrel. We're getting 1-2 punch to proc. I seen a video 3 weeks ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago, saying that this doesn't work on Song of Flame. That Trench Barrel doesn't. And I seen that 3 weeks ago. And I seen a couple of comments. And I was like, oh damn, is that really the case? But why? I'm using it today and it works. So both 1-2 punch and Trench Barrel, as far as I'm aware, right now me talking to you, is proccing with Song of Flame. So I don't know what people were talking about 3 weeks ago. Was that, but I don't know. For once, I don't know anything about it. I'm telling you, what was that about? It's not always about, sometimes it's not always about you knowing the stuff and me telling you it. Sometimes it's also you telling me the stuff. Because it's impossible for me to know everything right now what's going on in the universe. It's almost impossible. Isn't it? It really is though, isn't it? So, all I'm saying is, my shotgun worked with Song of Flame in this perfectly. Everything was proccing. Trench Barrel procced with the finger snap. 1-2 punch procced with the finger snap. So I see no problems with the build. Alright, look at that. Look at the plate cap easy. The best thing to do on that is to stand on the top of the roof. That drags the adds to the roof and it stops them from capping the plate. A couple of adds will try to cap the plate, but you will just kill them with Rev 0. That's it. Play easier. Don't make your life harder. Play it easier. You don't need to fight on trying to cap the plate at the plate. Fight from a distance. Right, we're going to get a stun with the machine gun. It's taken a while, but we get it. That's fine, because I've got a plan for the other unstops. We're getting this unstop weak. Helion does massive work for me there. In order to get that champ to a finishable state. Alright, now we need to deal with the barrier and the acolytes. We're wanting to focus target and data. I've already got it, so I'm fine on that. I want a super and I want transcendence. Look at my meters. So I'm actively getting rid of these ads whilst farming my stuff up. Look, there we go. I got my stuff. And then finally the knight. Just get rid of him quickly. Okay, we end up capping this entire zone in one go. So if you really want to see this melee base build in action, this is your time frame to watch it for the defend the ghost part. Very important to watch this bit to show you how it performs, because I am using the shotty a lot, you'll see. Right, push up a little bit, try and get Devour. I haven't got Devour left hand side yet. Make sure you get Devour. They've devoured his confirmed left hand side. Now we start to spam nades and Helion. Look at my ability energy. So I've got another Storm Grenade to use. Storm Grenade's really good. Feels like they buffed it. I'm getting Mandela affected with Storm Grenades because they feel stronger. I mean, they already were strong. But today I booted the game up and was like, damn, Storm Grenades are doing some stuff for me today. They really were. Right, it's because of Arc Surge. Now I understand. Yeah, it's Arc Surge. Pop a super now. You want to pop a super right now for the unstop. If you get a Hypernova, you might not get rid of him as well. Just get rid of him. And look at what the super's doing. It's getting rid of both the unstop and barrier with the shotgun. So sudden death's working very, very good with Song of Flame there. You seen the footage. You saw my procs. If you didn't see it, rewind it back. Record it on VHS tape. Rewind it back. Watch it later on at night when your missus is abed. Whatever you do like that. Right, I'm going to pop Transcendence. Second wave. Machine gun should be stunning. It's not stunning. I'm having problems. That's fine though. I've got overshield. That's where overshield comes in. Right, we need to be critical. Look at that damage there with the chain lightning. Chain lightning will keep proccing for us, remember. Look at the cooldown. Look at this. I get another VIP that's a tankier one than usual because he's a Bane. Right, now it's machine gun. I'm at 70%. I need my super in the next 10 seconds. At least. Or close to. So yeah, we're using a bit of storm in middle. We're not going to get my Transcendence, but that's fine. I'm banking on a super for final wave. They spawn in now. So we get a VIP. And the Ogre. So the VIP, we're going to back up a little bit and we're waiting. This is tactical. Look at percentage, 86. Now we pop super. Barrier champ, melt with this damn shotgun, sudden death. That's really good, that. This is a GM shotgun, this. Actually, it's a dungeon shotgun as well. It's good in dungeons and raids. Very, very good. I'll be using this more. I'm going to enhance its perks. I don't think I've got the god roll on it with the right mag and stuff, but I might get a god roll on Lootapalooza or whatever. So, one thing to take note from, one of the best weapons from Prophecy is this, sudden death. Now, I know there's unvoiced, and I reckon probably unvoiced does more damage than sudden death. I don't know that for a fact, but it's got higher buffs on it. But a sudden death's so good in terms of like just playback loop on a build, you know, in terms of just how quick things are proccing. It's a good synergy between shotgun melee, shotgun melee, shotgun melee. So I really like this shotgun. I've used unvoiced in the past and I've liked it, but not as much as sudden death. I like sudden death a bit more because it's more build centric and it's more like, you know, the better your build is melee wise, the better sudden death is as well. Whereas unvoiced is more like, it's more prismatic-y, more, you know, elemental honing type shenanigans with it, and more bait and switch rotations. That's my take. And I think that you need both shotguns, you know, but I think for ease of use, sudden death's easier to use than unvoiced. That's my take. At face value, that's what I think. All right, the catwalk section. So I'm going to get a Storm Grenade, Helion. Really like this combo with Inmost Light. Because I keep getting my stuff back. It's really nice. Because Devour and Inmost Light stacks. So you keep getting your Storm Grenade back. It's really good. So look at that. Melt the Knights with the LMG. You can go ham with heavy. Because you're going to get heavy back. It's Battleground GM. A lot of people always say, oh, Battleground GMs, they're so hard dense. Yeah, they are. But the game throws heavy at you. The game throws heavy at you in Battleground GMs. You get more heavy in Battleground GMs than normal GMs. That's how Bungie balances them. They haven't told you that. I just know that that's what they do. So, take advantage of that. Yeah, LMG's the star of Battlegrounds. If you can cover your champ mods in your primary and special slot, rock an LMG. But although this season you can stun champs with LMGs, overloads and unstops. Watchful eye. It's just so good because every encounter you're going to have heavy and it's a machine gun, which is so good solo wise. So the barriers, we melt them quickly from that advantageous point that you just saw there. We're going to go right. Now capping the relic. You go right. Right's easier than left. Why would you go left? Go right. Right has a cushion elevator for you. Left has a bunch of ads. So you ask me which one. I mean, are you going to go left? If you go left, you're a right noggin, aren't you? Go right. Go right. It's just an elevator to pick up the relic. You don't need to go the other side. Right. Grenade goes down. Now we want to kill all of these acolytes quickly. You're timed. Well, you're not timed that heavily, but you're timed a little bit. Because by the time you kill them, a few seconds later, a fresh spawn of acolytes come. So you want to kill your acolytes, pick up the relic, and then run. By the time you do that, the acolytes won't touch you. There'll be a wizard spawning and stuff, but that's fine. And then what you're going to do is tap fire a relic. Make sure you tap fire it because you can mess up. If you don't do this in 2 relics, you're going to have to get that 3rd relic where the adds are and you're going to mess up. So pay close attention to relic usage. The ammo's tight. It takes 40 ammo per hive rune. Around about. So 40, 80, 120, 160. So you need 160 ammo. I'm trying to think. It's around about that. No, it's more than that. Because you're getting 100 ammo per relic and you finish with about 10 or 15. That's the proper take on it. Don't take notice to what I just said there. Okay, last relic. See? We're finishing with about 15, 10. There you go. So it was right that I tap fired. Because if you don't tap fire, you're not getting the most damage out of the relic. It's a problem. If you do this, you get a heavy ammo crate and no champs will spawn. This will speed it up. However, if you're not confident, you can wait out the timer and kill the champs. Your run will be 10 minutes longer because of it. Remember that though. If you are not bothered about time, then just wait it out then if you're struggling on the relics. I don't think you should though. It's pretty straightforward to be honest. Right, I've got an idea. I'm not going to cheese the boss. I've got an idea. So here we go. I'm going to go left hand side pillar and we're going to deal with some of the ads. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to traditionally do this in a traditional way by micromanaging the boss and the ads, because it actually ends up working out easier on the ad side of things if you do it like this. Now watch. Look. Yeah, I knew I would be able to do this. Look at this cheese. Not a cheese actually. Actually, that no way is that a cheese because that takes setup. That takes a lot of setup that. Look, here we go. Super shotgun. 1-2 punch, trench barrel. You can see the procking, lads. Don't give me it that it's not procking. It is. Look, it's procking my stuff. Damage is loyal. Damage is very loyal. Right, now we want to deal with the ads. Now look at this. We can juggle the boss right and left while dealing with wizards. This is nice. So I actually don't think you should cheese the boss on first phase, because if you do, you're going to have 10 billion ads when the unstoppable spawns in. And I think just managing the ads like this is a little bit better and easier. On a Devour Warlock at least, yes. Yeah, and we can push up as well, you know. We've got that Devour. I was going to shotgun that wizard, but I didn't have it loaded. I'm going to pop Transcendence here. Because simply I should get it back. Although I don't think I do on the run, so this might be a slight mistake. Actually, it works out alright. It's fine. I'm just trying to think the run back. It is good doing this though, getting rid of these wizards. The wizards add a portion to the boss's health as well. So they just rank up, and the wizards are the most threat in this. The biggest threat in this is wizards, and 4 of them will wipe your run. So you've got to make a decision, you know. Do you want to cheese? I mean, you can cheese the boss with damage, definite. But be prepared for high risk of death on phase 2 if you do not control wizard, champ, the unstop and the barrier. Now, the boss has misbehaved there, if you notice. So getting him in the spot isn't exact. Watch. So it's a bit of a position. There we go. We get him in his spot. Look. So now we can do the same thing. Ads have pushed me to my right. So I'm just going to get rid of those though. Boss is still stuck. And we're just managing some of these ads. That's why the machine gun's so good in this. It's just really good for like mobile running and gunning, and when ads are misbehaving and not favourable positioning for you, whipping out an LMG with Devour just makes you so powerful in terms of survivability. Whereas if you had a linear on, yeah, the linear would give you damage gains on unstop, but you would lose ad clear capabilities off the linear, whereas the machine gun will be a bit better for you. Do you see the reasoning behind it? So You've got to realise in endgame content when you need a linear on or when you need a machine gun on, and when you need to have this weapon on over that weapon. I'm not saying machine guns are better than linears, and linears aren't better than machine guns. They're just tools. And you need to recognise you as a player which tool you need for a instance in the game. That is the true skill in the game. If you can do that, chances are you're going to be a very good player in the game. Even if your skill is maybe a bit slower than other people, that won't matter, because you recognise what tools you need when you need them. Look at this super. He does stomp me back, so I've lost damage. That super's a little bit worse than what I wanted, and the barrier has disappeared. Look at this. Where's the barrier gone, dude? He's not even there. He's disappeared. This has happened to me a few times over the course of this season, where I kill the unstop and the barrier just... He either goes somewhere or he disappears and reappears. This does happen with ads, by the way. This is an actual thing in the game that does happen with champs disappearing. Look, where was he? Where was he? And then look, there he is. Oh, he would show up when my super's gone, wouldn't he? Yeah. Barry's in mid. It's all right. He's trying to flex on me and make me use my build. All right, we'll use them. I'll use my build. That's fine. We've got no transcendence neither, so we're just gonna have to go in. Storm grenade jolt. Micromanage the boss. Stun with the Rev 0. Ooh, nice damage with lightning. Obviously, I don't get it back, but I'm not in my transcendence to get it back. You lose it, which you meant to lose it. But in transcendence, it's different. All right, now we're on battery phase. Now we get weak here. That's fine. You can melee with the battery and sort of dupe out the... you can make plays, basically. Manage your health. You need to become cross-eyed on this phase. You need to have one eye on your health and one eye on your gun model. Can you do that for me? The best Destiny 2 players in the world are cross-eyed. That's why they're so good. PvP players are even more cross-eyed because they've got to keep an eye on their radar. And their gun model is background music. They're not looking at the gun, barely. They're looking at radar constant. PvE players, it's the same, but they're looking at health instead of radar. Well, they're looking at radar if it's up. It's not up on GM. I'm being sarcastic, but I do have a point behind it. There's always a moral of the story behind something with me. And the moral of the story is HP health pool management. You need to manage your health. See, I'm watching this back and I'm watching my health. Every little tink, every little bit of health lost, I'm evaluating it. Look, that's 5%. Got a lot of health. Shields broke? No. That's the questions you ask yourself when you're going through this sort of boss fight with map rotation. How much health have you got? Can you tank this wizard? Can I tank him? I can if I do good map rotation, and I've got a super to use as exit point. Yeah. So if you're gonna overcommit to damage, and you've got a super and you're planning to do that, that's fine. Yeah. That means you're pre-planning that. That's okay. So look at this. We've got a battery. Then we pop battery in my super. I didn't know that could do that. They've buffed this. They've reworked this. In the past, if you picked up a battery during battery phases, during your Song of Flame, you would lose your Song of Flame. So they've changed it. I don't know when they've done this. Bungie's patched that at some point. They must have patched it recently. That's weird. Never seen that before in my life. Battery 4 out of 5. We've done really well. Look at how well we've managed this room. It's been that easy because of Helion. It's been Phoenix Dive. It's been lots of storm grenades. And the shotguns played very well at killing the wizards and the knights. Yeah, everything's worked perfectly. The build's been very well. That's very good. Battleground Mars is one of the tougher GMs. And the builds perform very well. Now, we are going to finish the boss off with some damage here. I'll talk a bit about melee builds. Now, Lightning Surge is probably better than the build I'm running. Because even though the Chain Lightning is unlimited, Lightning Surge would just do more damage for you overall. But paired with this shotgun, it's very nice. I can tell you that. If you run a very good shotgun with Chain Lightning Prismatic Transcendence build, it will do a lot of good things for you in the game. I'm solo. Most people don't play solo. They play in a team for GMs. So this build passes all tests. If Bungie does not patch this interaction, which I'm hoping they don't, yeah, then this will be a very good build next season, because you can do melee spec stat armor on your build, yeah, and having unlimited chain lightning during transcendence will allow you to build craft very high. If they remove this interaction, they need to buff chain lightning's base damage then. They don't need to buff its base damage. Well, they could do. They could buff it by 10-20%, but I'm not too bothered about that. Because we've got Synthoceps. We can buff it with Synthoceps. We can buff it with a shotgun and all that stuff. All I want is for them to not nerf this. The interaction. And I think it's fair. Because Lightning Surge builds will do more damage than Chain Reaction. Chain Lightning, whatever the damn melee is called. So yeah, that's just a bit of information on that. Now I'm going to use a super at the end. Just for the essence and the for the video. Pop a super. That's why I really like it, because it works with Song of Flame very well. It has very good interaction with it. The shotgun I'm on about now. That was a solo GM with this melee-centric build that you probably weren't aware of. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.